Hi everybody, this is Ellen Debenport with another postcard from the village. Actually from the village, not a homemade video this time. We'll be joined in a minute by Reverend Mark Fuss too. Convention is next week, and if you're going, I invite you to stop by our virtual booth. It's actually a web page that lists all of the products and books that have become available over the past year or so. But several things just came out this spring that we haven't had a chance to talk to you about yet. So Mark is going to tell you about the booklets, and I'll come back and tell you about the books. Here's Mark Fuss.
Today I'd like to share some exciting news about current and upcoming blessing booklets and the launch of the 2021 Outreach booklet. In case you missed it, our April booklet, Messages We Need to Hear from the Writings of Martha Smock, is still available. Longtime Daily Word editor Martha Smock wrote messages that are alive with reassurance and inspiration for today's times. This booklet's a perfect resource for discussion groups or for anyone who needs to be lifted up. In May, we released The Power of Prayer, a booklet filled with stories, articles, and affirmative prayers to make your own. And coming in July, we'll release The Spirit of Family, Faith, Inspiration, and Healing. It's been said that family relationships are a graduate course in spiritual growth. This booklet applies spiritual practice to the joys and challenges of family. And lastly, our 2021 Outreach booklet out this month is titled Peaceful Passing, Practical and Spiritual Reminders for the End of Life. It has practical advice and resources, but mostly it emphasizes the spiritual aspects of the dying experience. As always, Outreach booklets are available free for your ministry.
You heard Mark mention a booklet with the writings of Martha Smock, who was editor of Daily Word for 33 years. When we started going back through her writings, we wanted more than a booklet. We decided to bring one of her books back into print because it is so relevant for today and so teachable for you to use in talks and classes. Fear Not was the last book published with her essays in 1986. It's a classic about how to use spiritual principle in our lives, backed up with scripture to emphasize that these ancient teachings have always been with us. We also refreshed another classic book called Handbook of Positive Prayer. That author, Hypatia Hasbrook, would have been 100 years old on May 14th of this year. You'll like the handbook because it's very, very practical. It's full of steps and exercises and meditations and tools to use for prayer, not just an explanation of why prayer is good. To continue her birthday celebration, we're also refreshing her book, The Trip to Bethlehem, which will be out this fall. That book is her metaphysical interpretation of the Christmas story. You can just pick it up and teach from it. Neither of those books have been out of print. We just thought they needed more attention and new covers. A couple of new books are planned this fall. I don't even have covers to show you yet, but one is a memoir from a lesbian woman who wanted nothing but to become a nun and unfortunately was kicked out of the convent. It's about her spiritual journey thereafter and her spiritual activism. The other is another book I know you'll be teaching from, Unity and World Religions by Paul John Roach. So look for both of those this fall. And one more, be sure to check out the journal we've just published called Worthy of Wonder. It's so much fun with its iridescent cover. You're going to want one for yourself. And it addresses something we know is an issue for many people, feeling worthy, feeling like they're enough, believing that they really are divine. The journal has exercises and quotes and drawings and lots of ways to go within and dig out those feelings of unworthiness to remember who you truly are. So that's it. Be sure to visit the virtual UWH booth at convention. And if you won't be there, you can see all the same things in the product catalog in print or online. We aim to please. And we'll see you in the next postcards.